Hey folks, this is Kelani. World of Warcraft's next content update, The Warning, goes live on December 2nd, and it introduces some huge changes for the game, including early access for the housing system. You'll be able to buy a plot, collect decor, and start decorating the inside and outside of your new home. We'll have prologue story quests for the Midnight expansion that set the stage for what comes next. There's a new lore walking experience that provides important backstory for the Blood and Void Elves, and the new and returning player experiences have been overhauled. We'll see the return of the Turbulent Timeways event and the Brawlers Guild, as well as a new Heritage armor set and storyline for the Pandaren. There's a lot to look forward to, so let's go over everything coming in the Warning content update. One of the most exciting new features coming with this update has got to be housing. You can immediately start earning decor, and for any player who already owns the Midnight expansion, you'll be able to buy a plot and start decorating as soon as the update goes live. Getting started with housing is super easy. For active or returning players, when you next log in after the update goes live, you'll get a pop-up quest that leads you straight into the housing experience. You can find a portal for each faction's housing district in your faction portal room, and there's a special NPC that will show you around the neighborhood and answer important questions. This NPC will also help you set up a guild neighborhood if that's your plan. When you've found a plot that you're happy with, you can interact with the signpost to purchase it, and you can get started right away. If you'd like to check out different public neighborhoods, or maybe your desired plot isn't available in the current one, you can open your housing dashboard with the default keybind H, or there's a new housing button in your menu panel. At the top you can find the Open House Finder button, which will show you all of the available plots in your current neighborhood, and you can explore different neighborhoods on the left hand side. You can even search for your friends and see where they've set up their homes if you want to be in the same public neighborhood. To enter your new house, you just need to walk up to the door and click on it. There will be an in-game tutorial that walks you through the basics of setting up your house and how decorating works, so everyone can get stuck in. In this initial housing experience, we'll be able to collect decor and decorate the interior and exterior of the house. You can play around with room layouts, establish guild neighborhoods, or join a public neighborhood. Legacy content rewards and profession rewards will be included, so you'll have a lot of decor options to hunt down and earn, and we'll start off with the human and orc themed houses for their respective neighborhoods. You'll also be able to level up your house to level 5 during the early access period. You can also teleport to your plot by using your house teleport spell. This can be found on your housing dashboard at the top right, and it can be used from almost anywhere with a short 15-minute cooldown. Now, for anyone jumping into World of Warcraft as a new player, you can get into housing incredibly quickly. After you've landed on the beach of Exile's Reach, so after just a few quick quests that introduce movement and combat basics, you can choose to continue through the Exile's Reach starting experience or go straight to housing. You can also use this quick start method to purchase a plot on the opposite faction. So if you primarily play Horde, but you would rather focus on building up a house in an Alliance neighborhood, you can create an Alliance character and get them to the housing feature incredibly fast to buy the plot, and then you can teleport to it and build up your house on all of your Horde characters or vice versa. This is only the beginning of your housing adventures. When the Midnight expansion launches, we'll have more decor options to unlock and use, the Night Elf and Blood Elf architecture types will become available, and neighborhoods will be able to band together to progress through endeavors that actively change your neighborhood's visuals and offer new rewards to unlock. The Warning that this update is named after serves as our prologue for the Midnight expansion. Verisa Windrunner has been experiencing strange visions emanating from the Radiant Song, foretelling an assault on Kelthalas and the destruction of Silvermoon City. She requests the aid of her nephew Arator to investigate the meaning behind these visions, and Arator wants to bring Illyria and potentially even Sylvanas Windrunner to help. Unfortunately, Illyria was banished from Silvermoon due to her void influence, and Sylvanas was sentenced to the Moor, tasked with rescuing every lost soul sent there, so Arator may have his work cut out for him. Now, it has been a little while since we've seen some of these characters, so I wouldn't blame you if things are a bit fuzzy. Arator was left behind as a child when his parents, Illyria and Turalyon, ventured through the Dark Portal all those years ago, before finally being reunited with them as an adult during the expedition to Argus. With them being absent all his life, Arator has faced a unique challenge, exploring their relationship and living up to the legendary legacy of his parents. Illyria is still wrestling with the aftermath of the events on Koresh, where we delivered untold power right into Xal'atath's hands, and Locust Walker paid the ultimate price for the choices made. Since then, she's been desperately hunting for clues of Xal'atath's next move. Sylvanas was sent to the Maw for her crimes during the Fourth War and Shadowlands expansion. After the Jailer was defeated, Sylvanas handed herself over to Tyrande Whisperwind's judgment. Her punishment was to scour the Maw, freeing all of its trapped souls until only Sylvanas remained. Verisa is the youngest of the Windrunner sisters and the one who took in Arator after his parents ventured through the Dark Portal. We last saw her in Shadowlands at Sylvanas' trial, and with how many people she has lost already, Verisa is focused on keeping what's left of her family together. Will Arator be able to convince the Windrunner sisters to band together once more? And why is Verisa seeing these mysterious visions? That's not all of the new story content we have to look forward to though. Lore Walker Cho will have a new lore walking story that covers the origins of the Blood Elves and Void Elves. You'll relive the Scourge attack on Silvermoon City and the Lich King's assault on the Sunwell that almost wiped out the High Elves of Kel'Thalas, with the survivors taking up the name of Blood Elf in honour of their fallen people. The new story also goes over how the Void Elves came to be and why they aren't welcome in Silvermoon City anymore. We'll also see some huge changes for the new and returning player experiences. For new players, Exile's Reach has been updated to include key characters like Jaina and Thrall, as well as important Dragonflight NPCs like Kalagos and Rathian. The Exile's Reach story also feeds directly into Dragonflight, and new players are sent straight to the Dragon Isles instead of Orgrimmar or Stormwind, which should help keep them on track. The Dragonflight Level Up campaign has been updated to distill the entire Dragonflight story into a seamless experience that lets you level from 1 to 70 while progressing through an entire expansion. That includes all of the major content updates as well as new story modes for the raids. This is the first time that a complete expansion story has been available as a level up experience, which is really exciting. That's not all though. The War Within will see a similar distilled story campaign that serves as a recap for the events so far, which includes specific quests and storylines that highlight the stories of Illyria, Xal'atath and the Dark Heart. The whole thing should take about 3 hours to work through, and it can be a great way to refresh your memory of the major story beats, a quick way to level up your alts from 70 to 80, and it helps get new players up to speed on the story and leveling side of things, as well as some gear to prepare you for midnight. For anyone returning to the game after a long break, a new prompt will appear when you next log in that gives you an option to pick up where you left off, or to jump into the Arathi Highlands returning player experience. This can help you get back into the swing of things by hiding potentially distracting or confusing information like old quests, while helping you refamiliarize yourself with the basics of WoW gameplay. The quests are very straightforward and the whole thing is approximately 30 minutes long, but you can end the experience at any time. So if partway through you feel like you've got the hang of everything again, you can just hop out and continue on your way. You'll be directed to appropriate content to get you caught up to the current expansion and story, and your character will be fully geared similar to a gear boost, so you don't have to worry about any outdated gear or where to go next. If your character doesn't already have Skyriding unlocked, that will also be learned through this experience, so you can take to the skies immediately. There's also a big change coming to Skyriding. Vigor has been removed and you will now have 6 charges to use across most of your Skyriding abilities, and taking off is now free. Abilities will still recharge faster at high speeds or while ground skimming, and notably Whirling Surge does not cost any charges to use, so that's a simple 30-second cooldown to help you accelerate quickly. We'll also see the return of the Turbulent Timeways event with all new rewards to pick up, including Shadowlands-themed cosmetics, toys, pets, and mounts. The Master of the Timeways Meta achievement rewards you with a special voucher that you can exchange for one of 4 new Shadowlands Covenant-themed mounts. The other 3 will be available from the Time Warped vendor after you've completed the Meta achievement. We'll also see the Shadowlands expansion added into the Time Walking rotation with 6 dungeons to re-explore, so we'll be heading back to the Necrotic Wake, the Spires of Ascension, Plaguefall, The Other Side, the Halls of Atonement, and Sanguine Depths. You'll be able to pick up all of the previous Turbulent Timeways event mounts from the event vendor, so if you missed the Timely Buzzbee, the Sandy Shalewing, or the Chrono Corsair Pirate Dragon mount from previous events, you'll be able to buy those using Time Warped badges. During the event, we'll have back-to-back time walking for 10 weeks, giving you plenty of opportunities to farm Time Warped badges, purchase Time Walking event rewards, and these events are always a great time to level up your alts that you haven't gotten around to yet. The Brawlers Guild will be returning with some major additions and improvements. You'll be able to face off against many returning bosses with a shuffled rotation, and there are 4 totally new boss fights to test your skills. Each encounter has also been tuned to provide a smooth difficulty curve and to bring everything in line with current content. There will be more ways to participate in ongoing brawls as part of the crowd, which should make your queue or waiting experience more interesting, and of course we have some brand new rewards to pick up, including the Brawlin' Bruno Crocolisk mount, the Ballistic Bronco Flying mount, and a whole bunch of special challenge-themed achievements. This content update also includes the Pandaren Heritage armor set and questline. You'll return to the Wandering Isle to celebrate the Spirit Festival and earn your special race-specific armor set, which has multiple variants depending on your faction. There's a red version for the Horde, a blue version for the Alliance, and a black one to emphasize the Pandaren's neutral origins. You'll unlock all 3 colors by working through the questline, but the red and blue will be faction locked when transmogging. So there's plenty of content to keep you busy over the holiday season, and this update really sets the stage for the Midnight expansion launch. But that's everything coming in the Warning content update, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.